Welcome to another episode in the 1903 Springfield series. This episode is going to be all about butt plates. There's actually 9 different types of butt plates in total. There's only 5 here. The butt plate design comes from the Krag-Jorgensen rifle, and one of the types of 1903 Springfield butt plates is called the modified Krag, which this one is. So I'm going to go over some of the specific differences between these. Now, I don't have every model on here. There's 9 different variations, and I don't yet have some of them. I'm still after them. I will go over the ones I do have, and then I'll talk about the ones that I don't have. So let's first start off with the ones that I do have. So here, this is called a modified Krag. The one next to it is the Evolution in Design. So you see the one here on my right hand is wider than this one, and the finish is different. You can see also, if you pay specific attention, that the trapdoor hole is different also. These are only 2 of the 9 types. Here we have a checkered with the trapdoor hole. There's also a model that is checkered that doesn't have a trapdoor at all. That can be for a national match or for one of the training 22 rifles. Here we have a Remington 03A3. Now, originally, before Remington made the 03A3, they made the 03A1, which is the original 1903 design with the modified stock with the milled parts. Now, this is the 03A3 butt plate. The original one would be completely bare. It wouldn't have any of these checkerings, and it would be marked with an R. This was an 03A3 that's marked with an R. It is marked here with the R, the Remington R. Maybe kind of hard to see right there. This is for a Smith Corona 03A3. This is also a highly coveted butt plate. You see the squares are bigger here, and there is no marking. There's typically no markings on Smith Coronas. This is highly coveted too, and this one is in good shape. A lot of them, the squares are really worn, but this one is in really good shape. So now I'm going to go over the 9 types in total and talk about the ones that I don't have. So here's my collector's book that I use to help me with a lot of my stuff because it has pictures and diagrams and explanations. So here is a chart that lists all the different types of 1903 Springfield rifle butt plates and its variations, and it lists what years that they go with. Now for me, these checkered ones and how many checkers to count, that's extremely difficult to do. Even finding these checkered ones is hard, so I would just look for a checkered one that has the trapdoor hole and not worry about how many lines it has. That is like super extreme collecting. Now, a lot of these are just rough estimates too. It's not exact. They're not serialized like a German Mauser. So in reality, there isn't a really correct one. There's ones that they used, but hey, during wartime, they had to use whatever fit and what was available. That's why there's different finishes, so on and so forth. So they had to cut corners in production at different periods. And then also, you can find some that are completely brand new still. Now, I have some that are old, but they're just mixed parts. Old production Rock Island, end of the serial number, goes to Springfield Armory. It's got a Springfield Armory barrel on a Rock Island Arsenal receiver. So that is correct, even though that they're mixed manufacturers. That's correct. The end of the manufacturing for Rock Island went to Springfield to be finished and was used with Springfield barrels and other Springfield parts. But they're completely interchangeable. So even though that this modified Krag is a little bit wider, the holes are still the same and they will still work. So any one of these will work on a 1903 Springfield, but there are some that are more specific correct. And so here is the diagram of the chart that you can use to know which butt plate is specific to your rifle. But if you have a rifle that's, say, a wartime year rifle, World War I, World War II, well then all bets are off the table. And if you have a late production one, like a Rock Island one that I have, then they just used whatever parts they had available to fit. So there is some kind of wiggle room in collecting that you don't have, everything doesn't have to be exact and it's still correct. And the butt plates is one of them. Now, these Smith Corona ones are highly coveted, and I look for those. I also look for these check rings. So when I look for butt plates, you should look for the Smith Corona ones and the checkered ones. Those are the hardest to come by, and then you could use those for bartering and trading. Thank you for watching this episode. Please stay tuned for more in the 1903 Springfield series.